Greetings and Merry Winter's Day, everyone! Welcome to GuildGab. This is episode 63, and today, of course, we're going to be talking all about Winter's Day that released on Tuesday. We're also going to be talking about the Fractal reward updates, and there's a secret toy maker. This is your last day to sign up for the secret toy maker. And the Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns soundtrack has finally been released, so we're going to be talking about all of that. Today, I have the wonderful MMOINKS with me.
Yay!
Yay! Just thanks! Corvalix, no Corvalix.
Yeah. Alex has like a company party that he's at, and we don't know where Corvus is.
Corvus just kind of is MIA, and so
yeah.
Hope you're okay. Hope it's just, I don't know, the winter blues or something, and not. I hope you're not sick or anything. So I don't know. So much love to Corvus, and have fun at your party, Alex. But so thanks for showing up, Inks. Because otherwise, I would just sit here and be talking to myself.
I mean, this is the last GuildGab of the. Is this the last GuildGab?
It is.
No, one more. Is there one more?
One more on the 31st. We're not going to have a GuildGab next week, guys, because that's Christmas Eve. And I don't even know what my plans are going to be. Inks is going to be out of the country. So, probably the 31st. No, actually, that's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
This might be the last GuildGab of 2015. We'll
so
start
crazy.
Start again next year. Wow.
Like flew by fast, right?
This year, dude, has gone so quickly. I can't even believe that it's December. It's a week until Christmas. Where'd it go?
I know. It's so crazy.
So much of this year waiting for Heart of Thorns to come out. Like, just the anticipation and all the news. And then it's here, and all of a sudden we're 2 months in to Heart of Thorns.
I know, it's flying by. And you know what? What's even more exciting is at the start of the year, like at the start of next year, which always sounds so far away, but it's not really. I mean, we're going to get Living Story Season 3 is probably going to kick up, like the end of January, beginning of February. Just a guess. We don't know. Which means probably a new raid. Yeah, man, there's like, time is actually really flying by pretty quickly. And, you know, Heart of Thorns has been out, like you said, for like 2 months now. And it doesn't even feel like it really, does it? There's still, like, so much to do and try and complete and stuff. I
feel like I've done so much yet. I feel like there's so much more I still have yet to explore.
Yeah, you know, we were talking last night when we were finishing up raiding, because this is probably... Last night was probably the last raid until... At least for me, it was the last raid. And I think for most people, it's probably the last raid for a little while anyway. A lot of people are traveling, vacation, whatever the case is. Yeah. And, you know, we were trying to, like, you know, how many weeks have we been at this now? 4 weeks, 5 weeks? Like, we were trying to remember exactly. And time just flies by, you know? It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Speaking
of raids, B Team killed Gorseval last night. Oh, my God. Oh, it was such a good feeling.
Good does that feel?
Oh my God. I was looking at my hand and my hand was shaking, which is really cool. Because Veil Guardian, like the night that we downed it for the first time, it was for some reason I was so chill, because like it was the first raiding night of the week. We were all like, you know, it was like, okay, you know, let's get started. We were still in kind of like the chill, let's warm up mode. And we even said like, okay, let's just go in. Let's just see what happens. Let's warm up, you know, get back into the groove. And we ended up downing them. So it was just kind of like, oh, that happened. But last night it was also our first raiding night of the week. And we downed Veil Guardian one shot. So that was nice. So we didn't have to spend a bunch of time on that. Went to Gorseval, and you know we were doing Gorseval for an hour and a half, probably before we downed him. So there was that working towards it, you know, and there was that slowly getting closer and closer. So when oh my God, I recorded it too, so I'll maybe throw it up on YouTube. And it was, oh my God, I think towards the end, we were just, you know, you get to that point where you're right at the end, he's got like a sliver left, and he's like doing his like final world eater, and you're just going DPS, 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 and I'm just like hitting all the buttons, and I'm just like, use all the skills, all the DPS. Oh, it felt so good.
So like with Tuesday's patch, there was a bug where Gorseval's minions wouldn't move. So, like, he would spawn the minions, and you could move them to the wall, but his minions wouldn't follow. They would just stand wherever they spawned.
The little spirits? That he
Yeah,
pulls out of the
yeah.
ground? Oh, jeez.
So like we started our we started raiding because we start a little bit earlier than you guys. So we started raiding last night and we tried like 2 or 3 pools and we were like, we just can't do it this way. So then we tried to we spent like an hour maybe trying to like reconfigure the party. How many burn warriors can we get? Let's pick up another chronomancer. And after we did all that, there was like ArenaNet says, okay, patch in 10 minutes. And we were like,
Oh, God.
So then they patched and they fixed it. So yay, it was fixed.
Thank you.
And then I think it took us like 3 pools or maybe 4 pools and we killed him again, which was nice. It's funny, I was saying, and I think I said this to you last night, but once you kill any of the bosses for the very first time, every attempt you make after that just feels so much easier.
It does.
Not necessarily like a walk in the park. Like you guys are one-shotting Veil Guardian.
Yeah.
Veil Guardian for some reason still takes us 2-3 attempts. We're warming up, I guess. I have no idea. But anyway, and then like Gorseval, like I said, it took us 4 attempts, but every single attempt we get down to like close to the wire where he has like just a sliver of health left every single time. And either somebody gets cleaved or somebody gets egged or something happens where like we were failing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we killed with like 30 seconds on the clock or something last night, which was nice. And now it's just a race. In Maven, it's a race for who kills Sabbatha first. And you know, Sabbatha is like, it's funny because Fenris was saying how Gorseval is his favorite fight. Even though we give him a hard, yeah, it's his favorite fight. Even though we give him such a hard time getting egged all the time or not gliding or whatever, he likes the Gorseval fight a lot. But Sabbatha to me is probably the best fight, and you guys seen a little taste of her. But Sabbatha is more about the mechanics of the fight itself, and not so much about like DPS is important, the damage is important, but the mechanics are so much more important. Throwing the bombs and catching the bomb and getting boosted up, which is way too much fun, by the way. The flame wall and everything that she does. And then, of course, she has her minions that drop in or whatever. But it's just a great fight. Sabbatha, probably my favorite fight of the 3 bosses. And I think they're all great. I think all 3 of the bosses are great. But Sabbatha is probably my favorite so far. And we haven't even killed her yet. We're getting like, I don't know, for whatever reason, throwing the bombs and catching the bombs is still like a transitional process for us. But
we pretty much just ran in. Some people knew the mechanics of the fight, some didn't. I had watched other people do the fights, but I had never done it before, or I had never read up on what the mechanics were. So, like, I would see little bombs over my head. I would have no idea what I was doing. I just kept DPSing Sabbath, and people were like, what are you doing trying to get us killed? I'm like, I have no idea what I was doing. We just went in one time for fun, because it was the end of the night, so we weren't going to, like, sit here and strategize and explain how to, you know, do the Sabbath fight and then, you know, get one attempt in. So we just ran in for fun, you know, survived for a little bit, you know, because it's not a fight that kills you instantly.
Right.
So, but it was just fun, and I loved. I think Lil Miss at one point with our healer was out, and she didn't know that you had to at all costs not get caught in the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
So I think she just like stood there and tried to dodge roll through it or something, and I don't know. She just went down. She's like, oh. Well, that was instant death. It was a fun time. So at that point, everybody was all jazzed up, you know, and like,
yeah,
it was a great experience.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of, if you remember, what kind of loot did you guys see from Gorseval last night?
I think 3 people got mini Gorsevals, not me. I didn't really get much of anything from Gorseval. I don't know if anybody linked and ascended. I know. I think maybe 3 got minis. That was about it.
Yeah, that's what happened to us last night too. 3 people got minis, no ascended or anything, which is a little odd. Usually, there's like 1 ascended that drops for somebody.
I don't think anybody in our group got an ascended either.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. And then Winter's Day came out on Tuesday.
It did.
My wreath blinks now.
Yes, it looks so good. The new outfit and the new mini were in a bundle, but also available separately.
Yes, and I have to say, I I think kind of rightly so. But I gave ArenaNet. I've made a couple of videos, or a video at least, about, and I gave them kind of a hard time. You know, there's these 2,000 gem packages, and if you have that kind of money or that kind of gems, or you want to convert that kind of gold, sure, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with those packages, those bundle packages. But if you just want the outfit, or you just want the glider, or in this case it was a mini, then you should be able to buy those separately. And it's really nice to see that, like, a lot of people in the community, at least on Reddit and on the forums, were speaking out about how they didn't really like the 2,000 gem packages. They want it separate. They want you to separate those things out. So I think it's nice that, you know, that they listened and they said, okay, no problem. Here's your package. Here's your bundle. And we'll separate the mini out. We'll separate the outfit out. And so then if you really want, like, the immortal weapon skins, then, yeah, you have to buy the bundles. But that's like an added bonus to the bundle, right? You're placing a monetary gem value on how much those actually are worth. But it's nice. Like, I picked up the mini because I just wanted the mini this time around. And that mini is very cool. He looks just like the he looks for protecting your account with two-step authentication, the Chinese dragon, I forget what it's called. Festive dragon or something. Yeah. It looks just like that, except he's made out of, like, little tiny snowflakes. Like, his body is made out of snowflakes.
They're putting so many particle effects on everything, and I'm loving it. Like, the trails, like, if you stand and watch him, like, he'll, you know, he does his little hover thing and, like, snowflakes are falling under him, but then sometimes he does that swirl thing up in the air. Snowflakes fly everywhere when this thing spins up in the air. It's so cool. Yeah, when I saw that dragon mini, I had to have him.
Very cool.
Wasn't so impressed with the outfit.
So I usually play Asura, and most of the outfits are not overly impressive on Asura. I did look at it, like, on my Sylvari, and it wasn't for my Sylvari, so that's fine though. I mean, not every outfit is going to be for everybody. Right. Just not for me this time around. That's okay. But and this is why I'm glad. Like, I really wanted that mini. The mini was cool to me. So I'm glad that I could get the mini without, you know, buying the
spending 2,000 gems and stuff you don't really want.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I think it was good. I think that with the outfit, my expectations or my I guess my wish was something, you know, we had the snowflake glider, we had the snowflake mini. I wanted, like, a snowflake dress. I wanted something very fantastical, and it was more practical this time around. I guess last year's was practical with the Arctic Explorer outfit, and I didn't even like that one until I bought it and started dyeing it and I actually saw it on my character.
Right.
But this one, it just looked too much like something. It didn't look Winter's Day exclusive to me. It looked like you were going to a masquerade ball. And I understand it's winter solstice. It's a winter solstice outfit. So I guess it's good that they went in a different direction. Like, the first year, the outfit was the big poofy dress, you know, with snowflakes on it. The second year, they did, like, the Arctic Explorer. So this year, they went, like, fancy. Like, if you're going to a fancy Winter's Day party and you don't want to wear a giant dress. Now, I only looked at it on, I'm talking from human female. So I looked at it on my main. And it was, like, you know, the dress coat and pants and the mask. So, So for me personally, I was disappointed because I wanted something fancy and snowflakey. But I think it's good to give that variety for people who wanted something like that. I saw people with it on, and it looks great on their characters. So.
I will say something about, so at the very back of and I looked at it on my female Sylvari, and there's something cool. For other races, it probably doesn't really apply, but for female Sylvari, there's that piece that's cut out in the back. It's like I don't know how else to explain it, but there's a strip that's cut out directly in the center of the back. And you might not think too much of that, except on a female Sylvari, when it's nighttime and they glow, and the Sylvari glow, and they light up, their spine, at least on my Sylvari, my spine lights up in green or whatever color it is. So because that's cut out of the back of the dress,
you can actually see that.
You can see the glow through you can see the glow through that open spot, which is cool, but still not quite enough to make
not enough to make you want to buy it. Plus, you usually have, like, a back piece on or something, and your weapons, so that blocks it. But
but other than that, it's you know, for the Sylvari females, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's good variety.
So with Winter's Day, we had a couple of a lot of the stuff. So a lot of the stuff is kind of rehashed every year. We know this going in. This is not uncommon for every MMO that's out there. You know, World of Warcraft and SWTOR, whoever does holiday, Rift is very big for it. Whoever does holiday events, they always do, like, a lot of it is recycled content from previous years. They usually add a little something new.
Yeah.
We didn't get a whole ton new this year. The orphans are new, so you can wrap up. There's more of a karma sink. You can wrap up gifts, socks and sweaters and hats and the old weapons, which, by the way, none of that stuff drops from Winter's Day boxes anymore. Mm-hmm. So you need to, like, buy it off the trading post, and then you can wrap it up and hand it into them.
Don't the socks and the wool hats, I think they drop, but it's the drop rate is way lower than it was in previous
If it drops,
years.
I have...
Much lower.
I've only opened a couple stacks, and I haven't seen any.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe 1,000. Like maybe I've opened less than 1,000 presents.
Okay, I could be wrong.
And I haven't seen any. But if it's a rare drop, then that's good. That's a good thing, because before you were flooded with them.
These items were basically worthless on the trading post. Like, you couldn't even sell them on the trading post for 2 copper. Like, no one was buying them. They were just worthless items because there wasn't a lot to do with them, but they dropped in bulk. So now they're fixing the economy. Now it's a way to earn karma. I felt like this Winter's Day was all about karma. They really put both karma sinks, karma gain into this Winter's Day. There's new food that drops out of the Winter's Day gifts. There's there's a bunch of new food and consumables, and they all give you karma bonuses. It's a food with your normal, whatever the bonus is, plus power or whatever, gold find or magic find, and then they give you the 10% experience, and then they give you 10% karma gain, which I think is that's new. There's food with karma gain, but I felt like this was like all of it gives you karma gain. This one's like all about karma.
Yeah, Winter's Day is in an interesting direction. I hope that we see maybe Halloween next year go in this direction as well, where a lot of things cost karma now. Which is good, because karma really, to be honest, is kind of useless in the game. You really don't use karma for too much anymore. But there's also a good amount of karma gain that you can get from doing these things as well. Like you said, the food gives you a booster. I think it costs you, if you have the materials, it costs you like 504 karma to wrap a present. And then when you give it to an orphan, it's like 1,800 karma unbuffed. And if you have a booster on, you get a little
work
bit
as well, yeah.
And there's about 20, I think there's about 20 orphans in the city in total. You need to do about 15 a day so far, it seems like. But that's a pretty nice karma boost from getting that back. And then you can take that karma, you can buy Winter's Day gifts. They start at like 700 karma a piece. You can buy 10. And then it goes down to like another cost, let's say 1,000. I forget what the numbers exactly are, but 700 to like 1,000 or 1,100. You can buy 10 and 10. You can keep buying them up to X amount every single day. So you can get extra presents for your karma if you want to do that. You can buy the old wooden skins. You can spend karma to buy those, so then you can wrap them up. So quite a few things to spend karma on. If you wanted a red Winter's Day bell, I mean, they're fairly cheap on the trading post, but you can spend karma and buy those. The snowflake shoulder pad, which we haven't really talked about just yet, you need 10 packs of snowballs, and you can either buy them off the trading post once again, or you can spend just karma. If you have the karma for it, you can just spend the karma and not actually have to spend your however many 30, 40 silver, whatever it costs.
So the snowflake shoulder is a new collection. It's a new item. It's kind of like the bat shoulder for Halloween. It's a shoulder skin. You won't see anything, but you will see snowflakes and sparkles coming down around your character. And you go to the Winter's Day vendor, the vendor that has all these wrapped gifts and karma items. And you buy, I think it's for 3 gold and like 25k karma or something like that. You can buy this collection, and you unlock the collection, and basically it's there's some Mystic Forge recipes that you have to use, a bunch of snowflakes. Finally a use for our tiny snowflakes. Tiny snowflakes that are just like, again, were worthless on the trading post, finally now have a use, plus you can convert them to the
flawless.
Yeah, the flawless, the other types of snowflakes. So there's a couple Mystic Forge recipes. You have to do each of the Winter's Day activities 3 times, which I don't think is a lot. And
No,
I,
it's
I
not too bad.
think that's fair. And I love the promotion of actually playing the content in the game.
Yes, yes.
That is wonderful. I love that. And then there's the kind of a controversial topic here. People have been complaining about the 10,000. There's an achievement you have to get 10,000 alcoholic Wintersday beverages, of which there are many that come out of the Wintersday boxes this year.
Yeah, I
So
think
many
I'm
new
up
items.
to...
Oh my God.
Now, like, unfortunately for me, I'm going to be away for a good deal of Winter's Day, so I'll miss out on... I'll really have to go into crunch time when I get back to see if I can actually finish it. But Winter's Day's only been out for a couple of days, and I think I'm at, like, 1,000 drinks, 1,100 drinks or something. You get them pretty quick. And the good news is that you can consume them all. If you right-click, there's a
Yes.
consume all. You don't have to click through...
Yes.
There's 60 drinks or 10... You don't have to click 10,000 times. You can simply, whatever you get out of the gifts, you can right-click on the alcoholic drink, and then you consume all, and thank God.
Thank God. Oh my God.
Because the
Yes.
clicking is unreal.
The clicking is unreal. The loot is unreal. Oh my God. When I started opening Winter's Day presents, like I had taken some from that I had from last year in my bank. I took them. I started opening them. I could not believe all of the new items. It was like you heard me. You heard me in Discord. Like
Yeah.
I literally spent after the raid last night my inventory, and I have max inventory bags, max inventory slots on my main character, and my inventory was just flooded with Winter's Day items. You know, I have all my Heart of Thorns currency in there. I have my toys and my extra armor sets and my weapons, and it's like. And then I have like half my inventory is filled with Winter's Day items. I couldn't believe that they added so much more. Like there's must be 15 new consumables. I'm like, ArenaNet, what are you doing?
A lot.
What are you
It's a
doing?
lot.
Now don't get me wrong, I love the new items. I love seeing the peppermint swirl ice cream and the peppermint Om berry bars and, you know, all these little cute icons, and they all do something different. Like, that's wonderful, and I love it. And there's consumable snow globes and consumable icicles. But it gets a bit much in my inventory. I don't know what to do with it all. And if I'm going to be opening, like, tens of thousands of Winter's Day gifts, especially trying to get this, you know, this alcohol achievement, which is a great throwback to Guild Wars 1, by the way. That made me so happy. It's like, I can't, after a while, it's like I can't handle the inventory management anymore. I'm getting overwhelmed. And I love inventory management. I love organizing. I love going through all these items. It's fun, you know, what can I sell on the trading post? What can I throw in my bank? What can I salvage? But after a while, it just gets to be like, I want to play the game. I don't want to play inventory wars anymore. And I feel like Winter's Day, that's all I'm going to be doing.
Something interesting, and I think if most people have been doing this or following this, they probably know. But there's an achievement for eating like candy canes, or like I forget what it's called exactly.
Yeah.
But any of the candy cane food, so like the Om berry peppermint thing and the ice cream, they all count. It's not just candy canes; it's candy canes plus all the candy cane kind of food. So all those peppermint things that come out of the trick or treat bags, they all count for 1 point for that achievement for those who were trying to do that one as well.
Okay, did not know that. Is
Yeah,
that part of? That's not part of the winter presents, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Think
just
that
a separate
might
Winter's
be
Day
separate.
achievement. Okay. Yeah, but there's been a lot of people concerned about the basically you have to get incorrigible alehound is what it was called in Guild Wars 1. Was the I think it was that 10,000 or was that actually 100,000? It's probably 10.
For which one?
In Guild Wars 1, there was an alcohol achievement, and there was I forget, there was two steps to it, but the final one, to maximize that title tracks, you had title tracks in Guild Wars 1, and one of them was, the max was called Incorrigible Alehound, and you would get that title to display on your character. And that's basically what it was. It was consume so many alcoholic drinks. And so that got me excited because it was a big throwback to that. There's actually some throwback items. There's fruitcake now that can come out of the Winter's Day chest. That was an item in Guild Wars 1, was fruitcakes. So there was a lot of throwback items. The candy canes was a throwback item. That made me so happy. Like when I started seeing the eggnog, that was in Guild Wars 1. I was so happy. Like the apple, the hard apple cider. I was like, nostalgia.
It's a great carryover, I think. It really is. And by the way, the fruitcake, and there's a recipe for it you can get as well to drop from the gifts. That is actually useful for a number of people for raiding. The other foods not as useful, but these can replace the sharpening stones, I believe.
Yes,
Pretty sure.
yes.
Yeah.
It's basically a 10% of your toughness to your power, I think.
Yeah.
Which is
something like that.
Which is like the sharpening stones, yes. I'm going to be saving all my fruitcake. The drop rate is much lower than like the peppermint stuff. Like I've opened, I don't know how many boxes I've opened, and I think I've only gotten like 2 or 3 fruitcakes, as opposed to I have like 15, 20, 30 of like the peppermint stuff. But really, really good item. Yeah, if you're DPSing in raids, you need power. Yes, good item.
Yeah. There's some other interesting drops that come as well. So the rebreather still drops. It's exotic, but it has like special effects or something like that.
Yeah.
Super rare, but it drops. There's also I forget what it's called exactly. It looks like a red gift. It's a snowball. I don't have it in front of me. I wish I could quote it better. But there's a snowball gift that drops. It sells for like 18 or 19 gold currently on the trading post. It was as high as 40. I just bought one outright because I know I'm not going to have time to collect as many gifts as I want it to. And I overpaid, but that's okay. But it turns you into a giant snowball like you would if you were playing the Mayhem.
Yes.
And you can glide while in snowball form. Now, you can't jump while you're in the snowball, so you kind of have to roll off a cliff and then just hold spacebar to glide. You can totally glide. You can totally hit an updraft while in snowball form. You can speed up. You can slow down. If you time it correctly and fall properly on the mushroom, you can even use the jump pad mushroom on the snowball. It's way too much fun. You can equip... I couldn't see the kite when I was in snowball form, but you can put your kite on. You can also put your birthday blaster on so your snowball can shoot cake.
So great.
Too much fun with the snowball. The snowball is amazing. I love the freaking snowball. Probably my favorite. The snow shoulder is cool. It snows on you, but the snowball. I mean, come on. The snowball is freaking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite item that drops. Now, the mini scrit is very cool.
Yeah, new mini scrit. New mini scrit that you can upgrade in the Mystic Forge, right?
Right. There's a whole process that involved with that. I think you need... I'd have to go back and do the math, but I think you need about 16 gift scrit in order to make the final one, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Now, the recipe on the gift scrit, when you scroll over him, is actually incorrect. The original one you get is correct. It tells you need candy canes, flawless snowflakes, and something like... Oh, something else. I can't remember. But you need 4 items, and you need 4 gift scrit to upgrade to tier 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To upgrade to tier 3, you need 4 of the secondary scrit.
Oh, wow.
So, oh, you know what it is? It's an essence of charitable scrittish or something. And it's 3 laurels and like 10,000 karma to buy. So... yeah, you need to do that a number of times to upgrade to the second one, and then the third one is like 4 of the second tier one. And so the first scrit is holding like a single gift, and the second scrit is holding 3 gifts, and the final scrit is holding like 5 gifts. There's like a stack of like awkwardly stacked gifts with him. It's very cool. It's funny, but all of the minis that I have, and I don't have all of them like Matt's, but I do have a lot of them. The scrit holding the piece of candy corn used to be my favorite. I just love the scrit. And I think the present one is probably even more my favorite. I spent pretty much all the gold I had. I spent like trying to get this done before I left for vacation. Because I wanted the mini and I didn't want to wait long. And, you know, it does sound like a lot. It's not too bad, but it's very much like upgrading the Professor Muse, which is from Fractals, or the llama, which is like from PvP. It's not as intense as those two. Those two require a bit more. But it's, you know, a similar process. It's a pretty cool process, especially if you take your time with it. If you don't try and rush it like me, then it's not as bad. But you have to open a lot of gifts to get like 16 or more gift scrit to drop. So you're probably going to have to buy some from the trading post, which makes it feel a little less epic. But
But you can earn them in game. It does suck that it's an RNG, that you just have to, you know, be lucky if they come out of the presents. Kind of takes us to back to the, which we kind of haven't talked about, but the 10,000 alcohol. I don't know what to call it. Alcoholic drinks that you need to get the WinterSday presents. And something you said that you said that you wanted to get it all done. You wanted it all right now. So, you know, you overpaid and you spent all this gold to get it.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people complaining that, oh my God, 10,000, you know, drinks. It's ridiculous. I'll never get that. And I've heard people say, oh, it costs, you know, if you go on the trading post and buy it, so this shoulder piece costs 760 gold. You don't need it right. This Winter's Day is going to be around for weeks.
Yep.
Play the content, get the Winter's Day boxes, slowly work your way up to it. You don't need it right now, right today. It's
you
not
don't need
meant to be done in a day.
Yeah, you don't need to complete your 10,000 drinks in a single day.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you're drinking all along, it sounds terrible. If you're drinking all throughout Winter's Day, and you get close to the end and you're like, man, I still need 5,000 drinks or whatever it ends up being, and you try and buy as soon as Winter's Day ends, you're making a mistake. Let it go for a little bit. Yes, you are going to pay a little bit more, but the prices will like inflate really quickly. Yeah. And then it'll drop back down, you know, a little bit over time. But so yeah, you know, if you want to do it, then, you know, buy a couple extra like in the middle of Winter's Day or something. Or just do it over time. You don't have to have it done. You know, I imagine that this achievement is going to carry over to like next Winter's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, get the stuff that you can only do now, like the activities. You have to. There's no way around it. You have to play the Winter's Day activities. You have to complete each of them 3 times. So they're slightly different. The Toypocalypse, you have to do 3 or 30 waves or something, which is 3 complete events. Complete the jumping puzzle 3 times. Win 3 matches of Snowball Mayhem. Is that what it's called? Complete the Bell Choir. It's 3 songs in Bell Choir that goes super quick, which is also a great way. Pick the activity that you're best at and that you enjoy the most, and just play that activity. You're going to get a ton of Winter's Day gifts. And the dailies, all the dailies give you a Winter's Day gift. Opening Black Lion chests gives you a bonus 4th item. You get a Winter's Day gift. Personalized Winter's Day gifts. Do the events, the achievements that give you personalized Winter's Day gifts, because those give you a good amount of alcohol out of each one. Like a regular Winter's Day gift, like maybe you'll get 1 out of each. But the personalized ones, I'll get like 3, 4 drinks out of each one. So those will give you a little bit more. And so just play the content. And I love that you're not purely relying on one RNG item, you know, like Halloween, that skyrockets, you know, in price on the trading post, and that's the only way you can complete this. It's playing the content, playing the game, and through that, you know, you earn these rewards, and you can slowly work your way up to it. So
yeah, you know, the other thing too is if you have a lot of karma. Now, I don't have a lot of karma, but I know people who have 4 million, 7 million karma, 2 million, whatever, millions of karma. You can spend your karma to buy gifts as well. So, like, that's something you could do every day. Depends how much karma you feel like spending, how much you really think it's worth. But you could spend karma every day and buy X number of gifts as well if you wanted to. Absolutely. So, there's lots of ways to get gifts. I wouldn't, especially because it's still so early. We still have several weeks, at least, of Winter's Day. I wouldn't be so rushed to be like, I have to do it right now. And I know that, like, somebody figured out the math. It's like 384 drinks a day or something. It's some crazy big number a day. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But, yeah, I don't know. Just take your time with it and play the content and see how you do. And if you feel like you're not doing enough, then maybe you want to spend some money on the trading post. Or maybe you don't even care about it. Who knows, you know? Yeah,
and for those people who don't care about the Winter's Day presents shoulder piece, they're going to make bank on the trading post. Like, go and make bank. Like, I don't care about the script minis, so if I get a script mini, I'm going to go and sell it on the trading post, and, you know, hopefully they're worth something on the trading post.
Yeah, they're like 3 or 4 gold a piece.
Yeah, so I'm going to, you know, go and make a couple gold a pop if I get some of those while I'm working on getting my, you know, my Winter's Day presents. So, I love the way that they did this. I love the way they listened to the complaints and the things that they did wrong with the Halloween shoulder piece, and they corrected.
Yeah.
They corrected it all. And
Yeah.
they gave us, item sinks for worthless items that were previously pretty much worthless. They gave us sinks for those. They encourage doing the content, and they give you many different ways to accomplish that, down to just plain spending karma.
Now, the other thing too is if you have a lot of leftover first of all, like convert. For the most part, you should really be converting your snowflakes from tiny all the way up into flawless. And you can take the flawless snowflakes to your guild hall, and for every 100 flawless snowflakes, you can buy a pile of snow. And piles of snow are used for a couple of things. A variety of Christmas decorations, which, by the way, are not overly easy to make for Scribe, even still. It starts at Scribe level 75 and kind of goes up from there. But they all take a lot of materials to make anything. It's still kind of a little bit...
Yeah.
That's really kind of my only complaint so far with Winter's Day is how the Scribe... Like, the decorations are really cool looking. They're really great looking. I would love to make a bunch of them for the guild hall, but you need so many materials to make even the most basic of stuff. That being said, piles of snow are cool for a couple of reasons. You can actually make a bridge or stairs out of piles of snow, because the way they stack on each other... You can, like, there was people who had screenshots of making, like, a spiral staircase out of it. Yes. I know in Maven, we got, like, at least halfway. We were trying to make, like, a snow bridge over to, like, our airship. And there's just lots of cool things you can do with the piles of snow. So the piles of snow for 100 flawless snowflakes is really cool. If you're in a guild, you can donate that to the guild if you don't really want them. And I know that your guild would probably be extremely grateful, because they're super cool, super fun to play with. Lots of interesting little things you can do. Jumping puzzles you can make out of them. A Winter's Day jumping puzzle or something. So, just a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. At least they gave us something. I think they could give us more for those kind of items. Get rid of your flawless snowflakes if you don't want them. Buy piles of snow and put them all over the guild hall. I wish there was more. I wish it wasn't all locked behind Scribe. And we talked all last show about scribing and how that whole system is flawed. But I was glad to see there was at least something that we could buy. Halloween we could buy the pumpkins. There was a candy corn sink, which was great. And everybody has pumpkins all over their guild hall because of that. And so now we have the snow piles, which is wonderful. I wish there was more. I haven't even seen what there is. I know that there's little snow makers that you can get.
Yes.
I know there's the giant reindeer ice sculpture.
Yeah, Bog Otter and the Ottoman Empire, they pooled their wealth together or whatever, or their materials together at the very least, and they made the giant. And it's a fair size. It's a giant ice sculpture of a reindeer, very cool looking. You can make a Christmas tree. It's the Christmas tree. I don't remember all the materials, but you need like 25 Christmas wreaths. And you can make the Christmas wreath, and that requires whatever. There's a little, like, street lamp, which I haven't seen anybody put the street lamp up yet, but I'm sure some people will. But there's a little, like, festive street lamp that you can put up. There's the tree, the wreaths, the reindeer, the snowmaker, like you said, which I really want, like, a couple of snowmakers to make.
Yeah, those are awesome.
And apparently you can, and I actually didn't even look into this, but for the PvP arena, you can make, like, the snowball piles. So you can throw snowballs at each other in the PvP arena.
Yes.
All very cool stuff. It's just that it's some of it, or a number of it, is locked behind scribing, and like Peachy said, if you want to know all about scribing and some of the hiccups with it, you can watch, like, the last episode, 62.
Yeah.
And learn all about that. But hope for change for later, I guess. Regardless, it's still cool. The decorations, obviously, they put a lot of work into. All the decorations look great regardless of whatever. And, yeah, I don't know. Winter's Day is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You can do the Gronk quest, or the For the Children, again. If you haven't done that last year, if you didn't get your home instance, this is your personal home instance, if you didn't get the Christmas tree and the star that eats fragments, you can do that again this year. So that's back in there, and people can spend time on that. Now, that is like a daily time gated. You have to do like 4 days or something like that in a row. Not in a row, but you have to do 4 days or something where you have to do something there. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to watch my own video again. It's been a year. But that's still in there. Apparently, it's exactly the same from what I understand. And so you guys can, if you didn't have, I know a lot of people left comments last year saying, "Oh, I missed this. I didn't get it done in time." You guys can now go do that. So that's really great.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot. In the Black Lion chest, if you play Stronghold, if you like Stronghold, there's a chance, and you can buy it from the trading post as well. But there's a festive Nika, a festive Tarai Asa, and a festive Grim Savad. And they're all wearing, like, different Winter's Day outfits. Very cool. A nice little touch for people who like Stronghold and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I was opening Black Lion chest, and I got... there's the other skins for them in there, too, because I got a, like...
Yes.
I don't know, a pirate Svard or something. I got another Svard skin, but it wasn't the festive one. I didn't even know there was festive ones. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, you can buy them off the trading post, or you can get them out of the Black Lion chest. Both are very cool. If you want to see what they look like, because you can't preview them on the trading post, I don't think, but you can go into PvP into the Stronghold and pull the screen up and just click on them, and it'll bring up their little mini portrait of what they're gonna look like and stuff.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool little touch.
That is really cool. Yeah, I think they did a good job of adding just enough things. I'm kind of disappointed that there's not a lot of new. That there's not as many weapons, because there was a lot. We had a lot of new weapon skins, a lot of new back pieces for Halloween. I don't think there was as much of that. I mean, we got the outfit, we got the mini, we got the wreath back piece. You know, of course, the shoulder piece. But I feel like, other than that, there's not a lot to go for or hope that you get out of a Winter's Day box. Like, there's not a new weapon skin or something like that. So I was a little disappointed with that. We did get the Timekeeper weapon Black Lion skins, though.
Yeah, and they're a little bit... Now, I mean, this is very sort of Chronomancer kind of inspired, I think, but the color scheme they decided to use kind of reminisces a little bit about Winter's Day. It's a very, like, translucent, kind of white and gold sort of color, or like a very lightish bluish white / gold color to the weapons. Most of those are very cool. They look very nice. And if you want the old Winter's Day sets, the original winter skins as well as the Winter's Day set, those are like 2 tickets each. So yeah, there's a lot of skins. They're discounted for Winter's Day if you're interested in getting those. Those are pretty hard to get your hands on, so there's that as well. And they added they didn't add a mini Infinitarium, which is the only mini I'm missing from way back when, but they did add a mini snowman, so you can pick him up, or he drops from the Winter's Day gifts. So they added him back into the game, and there is a recipe, a different recipe than the original one, to make a Festivus, a Festivu. What's his name? Fustavu.
I require Fustavu.
Yes,
I am definitely getting that this year.
Yeah, so there, and I don't know exactly what the recipe is because I already have him, but you can make. He's made out of snowmen, so he's made out of the mini snowmen and something else. But you can make a mini Fustavu.
Snowman? What?
I think so. What? I think so. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Fustavu is a little blue quaggin with a Santa hat.
Yes.
I require a quaggin with a Santa hat. I think Poobadoo is the only mini quaggin I have. There's so many little quaggins. A lot of them were Gem Store. A lot of the quaggins were Gem Store exclusive, and yeah, I don't. The only minis I've ever bought was the Winter's Day minis, which the deer, the fawn, the puppy, and the Arctic fox, which I think 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago, yeah, because I needed a mini puppy and a mini fawn.
And if you're new to the game, or maybe you didn't get a lot of them from previous Winter's Day, when you complete, I think you need to complete 18 achievements. If you complete 18 Winter's Day achievements, you'll get like a big gift box, and you can choose either one of the minis, like a mini princess doll or the mini plush griffin, or there's a bunch of them. They're all on the gem store right now for $3.50 each, but you can pick one of those as your gift, or I forget what the other gift is. It's either the mini or something else. I haven't completed it yet, so I don't remember. I think it might be 100 Winter's Day gifts or something. But, yeah, so if you do that, you can get another mini by completing those achievements.
Nice. See?
There was all
these options.
Yeah, there was something else. It just jumped out of my mind. There was another item from previous years that's back. But anyway, lots of little things to do in Winter's Day.
Yeah.
Lots of little cute little gifts to get and neat little items and stuff. You can get the endless choir bell that plays music. That still drops. There's the red musical bell that is still available. You can get that. So ArenaNet brought all those things back. You guys can get those. They still drop, and yeah, it's cool.
Lots of stuff to do. I'm happy. I love Winter's Day. I love the events. I'm finally good at the jumping puzzle, so that's awesome. Tip for the jumping puzzle, because I've heard a lot of people who want the snowflake shoulder piece, but they just say, I'm not good at jumping puzzles. I'm getting frustrated. I can't do it. I'm never going to get it because I can't do the jumping puzzle. Remember that at the beginning of the Winter's Day jumping puzzle, there's 3 different paths that you can choose, and those are that's the first half of the puzzle, and those are the snowflakes that you jump on. There's a gingerbread, a snowman, I think, and a quaggins. A lot of people say the quaggin path is the easiest, and basically when you first pour it into the jumping puzzle, you're on a peppermint, and you're going to be in front, and you're going to see one of those 3 things, and there are little bridges, if you look to the sides of you, that you can go to the other starting points. And each one's a different path. And so if you're having trouble with one path, try a different one. Personally, I think the quaggin's the easiest. That's the easiest one for me. So just try a different path if you're having trouble and you can't do one. And if you're having trouble, just take a break. Take a break from it. Come back later when you're refreshed and try it again. It's not a super long jumping puzzle. There's some mechanics that you do have to learn. I couldn't do it for the first couple years that I tried it. Another tip that helped me was basically I had first year and a half of the game, I had a terrible time with jumping puzzles because I was basically running the game on a potato, and I had like 10, 15 frames a second, especially because there's so much stuff in that jumping puzzle. The whole area is amazing and beautiful, but there's a lot of stuff that your PC is trying to render. So if you have a slightly older computer or you're not getting a good frame rate, try turning your settings down just for the jumping puzzle. Just turn your settings to best performance. Try and get a couple more frames out of your system and try it that way, because if everything is running smoother, I think you're going to have an easier time with the jumps. That's what helped me personally, because jumping puzzles were like 2-3 times as easy when I got my new computer, and I finally had like 70, 80 frames a second, and I was like, oh, jumping puzzles aren't that bad. So just some suggestions, and just keep at it, just keep trying. It might take a while, but you just have to keep at it. Take a break if you need to, come back later. So you'll get it. If worst comes to absolute worst, get a friend who's good at jumping puzzles, that you trust. Yeah. Let them play your account, let them get it for you, and then you can go and do the other stuff. So
the most difficult part for me is the exploding presents. Like, you get through the first part.
Yes.
That's for me, that's not too bad. I realize some people have problems there, and it depends on, like you said, a lot of things you were talking about. But for that one, don't do your very, I know it's difficult, but do your best. Don't let all of the presents spawn. Like, there's a little row at the bottom that you're tempted to let spawn. Sit there for a few minutes, because you're by the fire, you're okay. But watch other players do it a few times and see how and where they're jumping. Mm-hmm. I try to go up the center. That doesn't always work. And I also try and jump with a couple other people at the same time. I figure if we're all going to fail together, then that's better than me waiting to fail by myself. But yeah, I don't know. That's the part that I always was getting stuck on with the Winter's Day jumping puzzle, or those exploding presents. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, it's a matter of, making sure you're in the right place where the snowballs come running down. And after the snowball passes, just watch yourself, because like a snowball will get thrown, and if you get hit, you'll get knocked down, and it's just a bad time. Yeah. But
after you get past the presence part, patience. I know you're trying to rush through the jumping puzzle at first because your health is going down. Then when the snowballs are coming, you have to be patient, but you also have to keep moving. There's little peppermints off on the sides. Try and hit every single peppermint. Wait for the snowball to go by. Go to the next peppermint that's off the path. Wait for the snowball to go by. Go to the next peppermint. Don't try and get ahead of the snowball and be all fancy, because it will run you over. Yeah. You'll have to go back to the beginning. So be patient, but keep moving. And the final bunch of presents before you jump into the final end present, those don't disappear. Those don't blink link or anything.
Right.
Take your time. Go. There's blue presents in the middle. Go up the blue path. Go up the. There's guides out there. I mean, we're telling you stuff that's in guides. Go watch a video. The best way to do it. It was. I couldn't do it the first couple years. I couldn't do it. Last year was the very first year that I ever completed both the Halloween and the Winter's Day jumping puzzle, and that's just because I dedicated time to it, and eventually I got it. So
if you get frustrated, take a break. Yeah. Honestly, that's just the best thing to do. I know that it's funny, like the first time I did it this year, it took me 10 tries, 11 tries, and then I was streaming the other day, and I just popped through it like that. It was just sometimes it just goes that easy, and other times you retry 10 times. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Yeah. There was one time, the very first time, I had almost made it. I had waited when you get to the second part, I had waited too long for like one of the snowballs to pass. I should have like gone sooner. And I waited too long, so I got to the very last jump as I was jumping into the present, and it ticked one last time and reset me. And I was like,
that happened to me yesterday.
I was like,
dude.
no,
that happened to me yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, I was right there.
So close.
That is frustrating.
It's fun though. I like that jumping puzzle now. It's just like the clock tower. I was always intimidated. It's the same as raids. I was always intimidated. It's so difficult. But once I beat it once, it was so much easier from then on.
Yep. Yeah, it's just practice through repetition. But yeah, it's man.
Guys, the secret toy maker, the Santa, the gift exchange in game. This is I think actually tomorrow is the last day, or they're closing it tomorrow. If you want in on that, it's an in-game gift exchange. It's done throughout the entire Guild Wars 2 community. You can go to secrettoymaker.com and sign up for it. Big shout out to Peachy Party members. We are number 8 on the leaderboards. So nice. Peachy Party members, get in there and sign up. And let's try and get ourselves bumped up a little higher. It's a season of giving. So let's show how giving we are by taking over the leaderboards. No.
Big number 1.
Yeah, so all the information is there on the website. Check it out. It's a fun, good-spirited, season of giving, a fun Winter's Day activity for everybody to take part in. So go sign up for that, spread some cheer, and but get there today. Today's the last day to sign up.
Last day, so go sign up.
Yeah.
Very cool.
One other thing is the Guild Wars 2 soundtrack is now available. It's available digitally on Amazon. You can buy it outright. I think it's like $8.99 for the whole soundtrack. Alternatively, on the I Am 8-Bit store, if you go to the Guild Wars 2 section, there is now a vinyl record of the Heart of Thorns soundtrack. And they have pictures of like the packaging and the actual disc. I didn't believe I didn't know it until somebody linked it in my chat yesterday, and they were like, oh my god, there's a vinyl record of the hot soundtrack. I'm like, you lying. What? Where'd you come up with that? And they linked it. I was like,
even the record is green. The record is green. It looks so cool. It really does.
So cool.
It won't actually get released to 2016. I think they said like Q1 or I don't remember exactly.
Q2 2016. Is when it releases, I believe.
Very cool, very cool.
So, it comes with the digital soundtrack.
Right, so like you get that right away.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like me and Peachy were talking, and I was talking with a few other people as well. I don't even have a record player anymore. I don't even have a turntable anymore. But I want this vinyl soundtrack so bad.
It's a really beautiful cool display piece.
Yeah,
it looks like it has like artwork in it, like concept artwork. There was like I think a Ritlock and a Casimir, so it's going to come with artwork and maybe a booklet or something. And there's I think there's 2 discs, or maybe that was showing both sides of the disc. I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't read all the fine print, but it looks amazing. Check out the I Am 8-Bit store, and I'm not sure how much longer the Christmas Quaggin. There's a Christmas Quaggin. There's Christmas sweaters that are available on there. I don't know if it's going to be Christmas or maybe the end of the year. Maybe the 31st is going to be the last day for those, so make sure to get those if you want to get those items. We have, they're not referral links, but they are discount codes that are good until the end of the year, so you can use Peachy15, I think Inks15 is yours. Yep. Like I said, they're not referral links, but it'll get you 15% off, so use whichever one you want and take a little cash off of those. That's for the I Am 8-Bit store.
Yes. Yeah, any of the T-shirts, the prints, the vinyl record, anything you guys buy there, you can use. It doesn't matter really. You can use Peachy's code, like Peachy said. They're not referral links. It's just. It was a nice thing that ArenaNet, as partners, they gave us codes that you guys can get a discount. There's a 10% code going around. Ours is 15, so
they don't stack. They don't stack. Yeah. Just like the buffs, they don't stack. You can only use one.
Unfortunately, they don't stack. You can use the code. But yeah, you can give 15% off. I think somebody tweeted at me the other day, if you're buying the vinyl record, it's like $6 off the vinyl record.
Yeah.
Whatever
I think the record, it's like 40, so $6 off. That that brings it down. Covers shipping. It's a good deal.
Yeah, for sure. InksCon. That's all they joke about every night in Discord is about InksCon and going to InksCon and.
Oh dear. Okay, so the last thing we want to mention is the Fractal rewards updates.
Yes,
on Tuesday,
yes.
The rewards for Fractals have gotten a big update. I opened all my boxes. I didn't have too many. I don't do Fractals every day. I should. I think I had I had like 30 keys. So I opened like 30 boxes, and people are making a decent amount of gold out of the scraps that come out of there.
Yeah, a pretty good amount. I think I opened, 120 or something like that. Yeah, you get a lot more money out of the encryption boxes now. And from what I understand, now I haven't been lucky, but I know some people that I regularly run with, and some people have, obviously contacted me to let me know what kind of rewards they were seeing. But from running the higher level fractals, there's a lot more chance for you to get like fractal weapons or like the Ascended Armor boxes. Seem to be, in a quite bit better place right now, and it's good to see that. That doesn't, it doesn't completely fix fractals. It doesn't completely erase all the problems, because there was a change to how toughness and stuff works as well, which was really nice, and it's pretty noticeable, especially at the higher level fractals. But it is nice to know that experience-wise and money-wise, it's a little more rewarding now to be doing fractals. It's not as bad as it was. I think, like somebody is saying, it's like the average is 40 silver. I'm fairly unlucky, so my average is much lower than 40 silver. But yeah, Matsta and some of the other guys, Crescents and stuff in the guild, they were getting about 40 silver per box, it seemed like, as well. 35, 40 silver, something like that they were getting per box. That's a decent amount of money, considering, because you get, maybe not so much keys, but you do get, like, 3 boxes at the lower level fractals. I think it's even more, depending on, what level fractal you're actually doing. But, yeah, I don't know. The changes to fractals were really cool. Were nice, at least. And the money balance, anyway, is much better than it was previously as well. So, yeah, good balance on that one.
Do you think this is going to make up? A lot of people have said they took the money, reward away from dungeons and didn't put them in fractals. Do you think that this is going to kind of even it out? I mean, I know you still have to like earn or buy the keys in order to open the encryption boxes in order to get a lot of that gold. You don't just get it liquid from completing it.
Right.
But it seems like the numbers that I've been hearing, Ramsfield in chat said he opened 400 boxes and got 190 gold. So
it's a considerable amount.
I would say that fractals are a lot more liquid now.
Yeah. Pretty much so. It's certainly not even with the old way dungeons ran.
Yeah.
But there was a problem too with the old way that dungeons ran. It's created this economy that we have currently, where gold has a lot less value than it did 3 years ago. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's not just dungeons, but the economy has changed a lot over 3 years. Inflation, really bad.
Yes, yes.
And while it may not be on par 1-to-1 with the way dungeons used to be, I think it's decently close. I think fractals are definitely worth doing now, and I do think that you get a decent amount of rewards from doing fractals now. So hopefully that makes people happy with it. I know there's some other problems, and I know that there's some other issues that people want fixed with fractals. It's not perfect,
yeah,
but I think it's better. I think it's a good stepping stone.
One step at a time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad it came out Tuesday. They confirmed on Guild Chat last Friday that the Fractal update was coming today, and I was like, thank God, because everybody was complaining about Fractals. So, it's good. It's good. I think that's about all for the actual show. I'm lame and didn't cue up the ending music. Here we go. Alright, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. Alright, guys. So, we'll keep you updated on whether there is another GuildGab this year, but if not, we will see you again in 2016. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, guys. If you're watching live on Twitch, as always, stay tuned for the post-show. If you're watching on YouTube, scroll down and check that description for links to our YouTube channels, our Twitch channels, lots more Guild Wars 2 content there. And I guess we will see you when we see ya. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Have a Merry Winter's Day. Bye-bye.
Merry Winter's Day, everybody.